But first, we traveled all the way around the world to Christchurch, New Zealand to bring you this first story. It's a story of a high-tech bike you just have to see.
This is how Grant Ryan gets to work.
I get up, I unfold my YikeBike, I jump on it, I whiz past all the traffic that's stuck in lines of traffic, and I get to work, fold it up, put it under my desk and charge it up. No parking, no hassles, super easy.
He calls his invention the YikeBike for a reason.
Well, pretty much the first reaction is people will just go, they just kind of turn their head and they take a double take. People were like, yikes, and so we kind of like the idea of yike, and then yike. Oh yeah, it definitely turns heads.
But that's okay with Ryan. He wants everyone to get a good look at it. He believes this is how we could all be getting to work one day.
Most people in the world live in very congested cities. They live in tiny apartments, they work in offices and factories, they have a very small amount of space, so this thing can squash up into a very tiny area. It's the smallest, lightest electric folding bike in the world. It's only 10 kilograms. It folds up to be a third of the volume of any other folding bike with a 20-inch wheel. So you can take it on the train, stick it under your desk, you can take it anywhere. You never have to leave it outside to get parked, so it doesn't get stolen. There's no issues with parking. And it really is a great urban vehicle for buzzing around. In cities like London, the average speed of cars is about 10 miles an hour, so you can go faster than a Ferrari in central London on one of these things.
The YikeBike can go up to 25 kilometers per hour. Ryan, a mechanical engineer by trade, wanted to make something zippy, but safe and stable at the same time.
You just sit in a nice upright riding position. The reason we want an upright riding position is so that you can see traffic and be seen. There's nothing inherently natural about doing this on a bike. It's just what we're used to. It feels remarkably natural. You just sit up there and your hands just kind of fall down there. You've got accelerator here, brake here. It just feels nice and natural. Want to put an indicator on, just press that button. Around the corner we go. The acceleration's actually really safe because it gives you the ability to get out of the way if anything's coming. So if there's a bus coming, there's a bumps are no problem. You can lose in and out, you can get quite tight. In the end, you can just feels very natural.
The real challenge for Ryan was making the YikeBike fold up into a small package.
So the first versions were pedal, and one of the big aha moments was we could actually make the whole bike vastly simpler by replacing the pedals with a very tiny electric motor. We can also use that for the braking, so we don't need to have cables and chains and levers and gearboxes and freewheeling. So it really makes it all a lot simpler. So we've got our motor and battery and controller, and our foot pegs are all designed to fold into this tiny little space. The back wheel is designed to slide into there. So this part here is where the handlebars fold into. This part here allows the handlebars to fold down. The little kink here in the back wheel, that's designed to go over this kink here, which has got space for the battery. So everything has got a reason to make it fold, to make it fit, to make something fold in. And so the kind of shape is actually popped out of the function of it, which is kind of cool.
The shape might just remind you of another design from many years ago.
We've ended up calling the whole format a mini farthing because it's like a mini penny farthing. But we didn't start off thinking we're going to design a mini farthing.
As it turns out, the old design works the best.
It has to be able to go up curbs, through potholes, handle city streets. So you have to have a certain size wheel to do that. And we had to make everything else as small as possible. So we had to have a big wheel, but the back one doesn't have to be as big because when it goes through bumps, it's being pulled through and it's really not as big an issue.
Ryan has even souped up this old-fashioned design with some new technology.
It's the first bike in the world that's got electronic anti-skid brakes. Like cars have anti-skid brakes, this is the first bike that's actually got it. We've done tests next to a bicycle, and the bicycle wheel will just skid along and ours will just stop. And it just works so remarkably well. We can't wait to try it on ice, actually.
Ryan wants the YikeBike to be able to handle all sorts of road conditions so that people all over the world can enjoy the experience, just like he does.
It's almost like floating down the street because you've got nothing in front of you and you can just kind of whiz around and cruise past things. And I get the biggest smile on my face is when there's teams of, a whole lot of traffic lined up and you just whiz past them. You have to try not to gloat too much, I guess.